I will be the one making jokes, and without further ado, I would like to invite here on stage, welcome you, the owner of this awesome lemur costume, Sir Richard Branson. Richard, would you like to welcome your guests?
I thought you were going to ask me some questions.
I will ask you. I can ask you questions. Should I put my lemur costume again?
No.
I will ask you.
Anyway, just to say that, thank you very much for coming. I know some of you are staying here, some of you are staying at Bitter End, some of you are staying at Little Digs. But it's just great to have you all here. It's a wonderful project. When Bill and Susi suggested it to me on the beach over a drink or two, even if it hadn't been a wonderful project with Susi, I would have said yes. With Bill, no, most likely not. But anyway, it's a great project, and hopefully it's the start of many such projects in the years to come. And having listened to some of the wonderful, almost everybody here have got some incredible. I told you to be quiet tonight. We're surrounded by lemurs. This one is a very original lemur. But anyway, over there we have red-ruffed lemurs. No, we don't. We have panda lemurs, the ones that are making that particular noise there. And the ones over here are ringtail lemurs, and then we have there's one or two red-ruffed lemurs that you might see just wandering around the tennis court. And it was the wonderful guy called Rob Stewart who made Sharkwater, who was here one day and said that lemurs, there are some lemur species that are just, a couple of hundred left in zoos, and they're not breeding there. So if you could bring them here in this climate and give them lots of space, they would hopefully breed, and therefore the species won't die out. And so a few years ago we did that. They're breeding beautifully, and they're very happy. So, and if you have time tomorrow, if you're not running away, just wander around the island. You'll see giant tortoises and scarlet ibis that had disappeared in this region, which we've reintroduced. This sort of wonderful flash of scarlet. White ibis. You'll see giant iguanas. They go up 6-7 foot long, just wandering around. They look like mini dinosaurs. We've got 400 flamingos. Flamingos that disappeared 150 years ago. We've got 100 baby flamingos at the moment. They're worth seeing. And while we're talking, you might see one or two flying around. But anyway, welcome to Necker.
So tell me about business, Richard. You invest in a lot of startups, and we were talking earlier about business that have meaning. Can you explain where you're most interested in to save the world and having some investment and action in businesses that can have a huge impact, like the ones you're doing?
Well, we never used to. Anyway, we never used to sort of think we were investing in startups. We would just invest in situations where we felt we could do better than other people. And over the years, of course, Virgin invested in a lot of things like that. And Virgin continues to do that with like Virgin America. You see a situation, where the airline business wasn't very good, and we died.
You mean they sucked really bad, and you made it?
It was pretty awful. So Virgin continues to, go into, big gaps in the market. I love to invest in new entrepreneurs, and if they've got an idea that's going to, also tackle climate change or tackle medical issues or tackle something really positive, then they're more likely to get the money than something that is just purely for profit. So,
what are your criteria? Because like everybody here would, like you to help, of course. So, what are your criteria for?
Normally like this. There's you pretty girls out there. They're getting excited. Anyway, it'll stop. They'll stop in a minute. They'll go to sleep in a minute. Well, I think my criteria for investing is not dissimilar to anybody else's. I mean, it's obviously, lots of people can have the same idea, and it's very rare that an idea is unique to one person. I mean, it does happen, but generally it's not. But it's the person that just goes out and does that idea, and who can spend the time and effort creating that idea, and the time and effort getting a great team of people around them.
Does it have to be big? Does it have to be huge goals, like your own companies want to be really? I mean, when you launch an airline, it's pretty ambitious. So do you look for people who have crazy big ideas like that? Or are you happy with an app or?
We can't turn them off, I'm afraid. We don't think of them as crazy big ideas when we start, because most of our businesses we start with, one health club, one second-hand 747, one record, one artist, one record deal, one tiny little mobile phone company, one product with our bank, and then we just build it from there. And so we haven't. We haven't thought we're doing something really grand, something really big, and therefore we haven't had any massive major failures, because we put our toe in the water, we try it, and we build it up from there.
Is that's your advice? Start small and iterate very small and fail fast.
Well, the last bit I'm not sure I would advise people to do, but I think. I think just being able to experiment, make sure you've got it right. I mean, we just opened last week, our first city hotel in America, in Chicago, and so we start with one hotel. I went there. Actually, Joan, my wife, went there for a week before I went there, and they've got everything right. I mean, it's just like it just feels like how a Virgin hotel should be, in the same way that like a Virgin America plane feels like a Virgin.
How should it be, a hotel? Give us a taste.
You have to go and.
Okay, done.
I mean, it's obviously you have the central area. It rocks. It's funky. It's fun. The staff are great. They're. We're able to take, for every 100 people we interviewed, that's one advantage Virgin has. We can take on one person out of every 100 people we interviewed, they just, they got great spirit, and they just, you'd obviously get the few little occasional touches of red, like there's, the refrigerator is an old 1930s red refrigerator in every room. It's just little, nice little touches, but we haven't shoved Virgin down your throat. Once you walk in there, that if you just put that in New York or Nashville or New Orleans, which we're planning to do, or San Francisco, it's going to work.
Is fun part of it? It seems to be there is one thing in every single business you do, even here on the island, by having seen that your team is, happy. And by the way, thank you for the whole Necker Island team. Amazing. Your team is amazing here, and so they seem to have fun, right? And in all your businesses, you take the airline yourself in economy, incognito. No one knows. I mean, people know, but you sit there. You are in London in a wedding dress. You do a lot of. There are a lot of successful people in this world, businessmen, but you're fun. Is that part of what your selection criteria is too?
Yeah, I mean, life's too short not to have fun, and I like to throw myself into everything I do, have a laugh, there's a lot of people who want a bit of your time. It's very important that you spread your time out, and you have time for people. All the people, as you say, who work on Necker, they find time for everybody. Nothing's ever too much trouble for them. It's their home as well, and so we all live together here, and they create something absolutely magical, and we're very lucky to be part of it.
Last one. What's your dream? What are you still dreaming about?
Hey, look at that lemur. Now there's only 200 of those lemurs left in the world, and just watch it. It just learned to jump from one tree to another. If he doesn't make it between that branch and this tree, then there's only going to be 199 left in the world. So this is the most dangerous jumbly.
Take a trip to my house.